How much you bench?
Don't know.
Why not?
Because it's stupid.
Yeah, Mike, great to see you again. We talked last year for an extended chat celebrating 16 Candles and the Breakfast Club and all that. It's really cool to get to see you in a show like Reacher because you're playing a villain. Recently, I know you played a villain in Trigger Warning. What about it, about villainous roles at this stage in your career makes you attracted to them?
I enjoy it. You know, you got to let it all hang out. You know, you have to be alive and thinking on your feet, and I just want to kind of mix it up. I've always appreciated actors that can do that throughout their careers, and that was a goal of mine as a young man. And to be honest, just to have a great job, to go up to Canada again. I spent a lot of time there over the years. Great group of people. You know, Nick Santora did a great job. We had all the scripts from the outset, so there was plenty of material to prep and work on. And just the work experience. I had my family there with me. I had my first child, as did Olivier, during the making of this first season. Yeah. So just a lot of blessings, you know, the work itself, the people I got to work with, the role was great, all of it, man.
Absolutely. Brian, speaking kind of in a similar vein to that question, you're also an adversary in season 3. And what's funny is you're no stranger to standing opposite, that being Alan Ritchson when it comes to him playing a hero. He was Raphael in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You played the Shredder in that movie. Are you guys just destined to do this forever, back and forth?
Maybe. I hope so. That would be great. I think it's a lot of fun to be able to regroup with the people that you work with prior to on a completely set of circumstances, completely, different set of, characters and arcs and everything like that. And it's also good to be bad. I've played, both good guys and bad guys, but like Mike was saying, you have this sense of freedom, right, with bad guy characters. And what you want to do is really ground that freedom into something that people will definitely gravitate towards. And I think that's the charm of Reacher. I think he is a larger than life human being, yet so incredibly grounded and relatable. And we want to bring that aspect to our villainous characters as well.
Yeah.
Very much so. Olivier, it's you talk about relatability. I feel like you're maybe one of the more unrelatable characters in the show because you're one of the only people that can outsize Reacher, which is so crazy. We've been waiting for multiple seasons for that to happen. You have a great arm wrestling match with him early on in the season. And I wanted to ask you, who gave you more of a test in an arm wrestling competition, Reacher or Red Guardian from Black Widow?
Good one. Yeah, well, Red Guardian broke my wrist, so I have to give it to him. But this was fun to do. Hitting my own face, it was fun because I was like, am I going to hit my face 10 times or am I going to hit myself one time really hard and then hopefully they got it? And I hit myself so hard in the face, I felt like I really fell.
In the gym scene?
And they said, we got it. Thank you. So no, but it was a great scene, as I see, because we both go to the gym. We had a great feeling there. And it was actually the first scene that I shot in the whole season. So it was a great moment for me.
Yeah, it's cool that you all do your own stunts, or most of you do your own stunts. Alan was talking about that earlier today. Guys, I'll wrap with this. Reacher, it's a great action show. We have a lot of great fight sequences, but just like any great action franchise, there's a lot of awesome one-liners throughout the history of the show. Alan, as Reacher, says in a prior season, there's no point in having a weapon unless it's ready for instant use. To flip that quote to kind of you guys as actors, what do you feel like is a nuance you bring to your performances that is kind of your go-to weapon, something you can always bring to a line of dialogue, a scene that you're in, and it will just enhance whatever's going on?
Oh, wow.
For me, it's different. The first scary character from my youth was Charles from James Bond. How he lifted up James Bond and smiled with his tooth. And I want that joy as a child of having that fear for someone, watching that, I wanted to bring as a new giant to the movie and series. So I always look back at that scene and that I want to be him.
Yeah. I think what I feel is definitely most scary is this kind of intellectual factor, because they say that there's a fine line between genius and crazy. And if you're riding that particular line, I feel like that's the most scary, especially in this series where we all know that he's big and brawny as far as Reacher is concerned, but he's also extremely intellectual. And now he has to face multiple foes that are just as smart and as big. And I think that's what audience is going to gravitate towards, especially this season from any other.
For me, I don't think there's anything that I rely on. I mean, I have certain techniques and things that I can pull out of my toolbox, I guess, but I like just keeping it fresh and open and kind of surprising myself in a way, if I can, with what I'm doing. And I always want to try to mix it up and do something different. So I had a big range here with this role between his relationship with his son, and obviously being a part of this criminal operation. I think he's living in fear of Quinn, and that's something that's revealed. There's a time and a ticking clock to this because of Brian's character. There was just so much. There was a lot of richness, a lot of depth for all of us, and great roles. There's levels to it. There's also a lot of deception, which is really interesting to play too. You want to keep the audience guessing. So for me as an actor, I like that. I like to be able to surprise the people I'm working with, and maybe myself too, if I'm delivering some good work that's real, hopefully.
Yeah, all fantastic answers. You're all very, phenomenal in this show. I'm excited for audiences to check the rest of it out. Thank you again for your time today.
Weaker than I thought.